Feel like I deserve some credit here because I said the stream would start at 7:40 p.m. Eastern. It is 7:39 p.m. Eastern, and I know that when I'm late, you guys won't let me never hear it again, right? Like you guys will always make sure that I know that I'm late. But today I was early. So I just want to make sure that you guys give me some credit. Yes, Trey Lance has been traded to the Dallas Cowboys. Sounds like it's going to be a mid-round pick. And it has been reported by Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport. It is true. He is a Dallas Cowboy. I've got a link pinned to the top of the chat. You can call in and give your thoughts on what you think this means, how you feel about it. The Trey era is over. Third string all pro says confirms that the Niners are not worried about playing against him. I think that they plan on him being a backup quarterback, right? So they probably won't have to play against him. I don't know. I don't know overall like how I feel about it. I would say more positive than not. I think that this is good for the 49ers. I think this is good for Brock Purdy, that he can have his career fully start off and not have to worry about somebody breathing down his neck. I think that's a really, really good feeling. I think that's freeing. I think that's something they should have done for Trey and they didn't do. And so I'm happy they're doing that for Brock. I also think that Trey Lance deserves to get his career on track. So I love that they've done that for him. And, we'll see long term how this works. I also think that Dallas is a really good spot. I think a lot of people really kind of compared Trey Lance to Dak Prescott in a way. Similar play style. That was kind of the mold maybe of what he would be, a little bit more athletic, a little bit bigger arm, but ultimately like Dak was a decent comp for Trey. So I think this is good. I think this is a good fresh start for him, and we'll see where his career goes. I think we should be happy for him. I think we should be happy for Trey. We should be happy for Brock Purdy. And ultimately, I think this is probably the best thing that could have happened for the fan base. Like, enough already. My gosh. The hatred that people have for this kid. Like, now it can be done. I hope. We'll see. Anyways, let me get to these super chats. Then I'll get to Arturo, Jesus, and Brother Bob. But yes, Trey Lance has been traded to the Dallas Cowboys trade area. That is a fact now. This reminds me of Charles Haley and Deion Sanders. Oh, I don't know if I'd go that far, Brother Bob. I mean, those are some great players. I like Trey, but we're not there yet. Beats and Meats sketch. I'm finding myself in an insane position of rooting for a member of the Cowboys. I don't like it. Yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for him too, for sure. I'm not a Cowboy fan. That is not going to happen, but I definitely will be rooting for Trey Lance if he ever sees the field. Will says, so we wasted 3 first-round picks for 3.5 starts and a 4th-round pick. Imagine if Purdy never happened again and the front office and Kyle get bailed out. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it is the worst pick in 49ers history. I mean, the worst trade, right? Like, that's, even if he ends up being really good, it's not because he's good. It's because, or not good. It's because they didn't develop him. So either way, this plays out. However, Trey Lance's career plays out, it's the worst trade in 49ers history. And I don't think there's anybody denying that at this point. You can't. It's over. The Trey era is over that quickly. All right, we're going to go to Arturo, Jesus, and Brother Bob. What's up, Arturo?
What's going on, Jesse? How we doing?
Doing good, man. It's like I just saw you.
I know, God. But it's kind of crazy because you kind of think back in the off season, and he was working out in Dallas. Remember that? It's almost like they had a private workout. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's I am interested, like, from Dallas's perspective. I mean, obviously this is just happening. It's like literally I built a thumbnail, I jumped on, went live. Like, I haven't even had really kind of time to process my feelings about it. But I'm trying to think from Dallas's perspective, why would they go the Trey Lance route? And the only thing I can think of is I think they've got an out coming up on Dak Prescott's contract, and they've got guys like Parsons that they would like to pay and that type of stuff. So maybe they figure it out. Dak does tend to miss some time. If Trey is who they think he might be, then you've got your future quarterback for a much cheaper price, and you can keep it pushing. So I don't know. I'm interested to see what Dallas says about the trade when they have their first press conference for sure.
Man, even thinking about us giving them the next franchise quarterback, it's like causing me stomach issues. You know what I mean?
I'd be sick. This is this is like worst case scenario, right? Like him going to Seattle or him going to Dallas and being good is the worst case scenario. Like absolute worst case scenario. Yeah, that's I didn't even think about it like that. Yeah, you're right.
But there was no other option. I mean, it was a debacle. The way they've handled this situation, to me, they're cowards. Like Kyle and John, they're just cowards. They picked days where they didn't have to be held accountable to the media. They didn't want to talk to anybody. And even now, right before the game, they traded him. Right? So now, no one even cares about the game. They just want to ask questions. And hopefully the Niners beat writers, ask like, what happened? How come? And why? You know what I mean?
Yeah, this thing is crazy. And it's interesting because Kyle is going to face the media after this game. And I am curious to see what he has to say. I wonder if they'll do kind of an impromptu press conference before the game. This is crazy. Like, I didn't expect this, not this fast. I thought, maybe they'd showcase him tonight and then maybe through the weekend they'd get a deal done potentially. But wow, this is crazy. That's crazy.
I was in the middle of watching Grant's, video about Bosa missing week 1 and then this.
Yeah.
I was like, God, man, this thing writes itself. You guys don't have to work hard or nothing.
It's crazy. Yeah, and now that's the next news, right? Like, it's crazy. We're always looking for the next news. Like, okay, now Trey's been traded. All right, when's Bosa getting signed? Like, when's that going to happen? We got to figure this out, right?
Keeps on giving, man. Keeps on giving.
Hey, yeah. So, overall, just how you feeling about the whole thing? I know that it's interesting because he's going to Dallas, and if you did like Trey Lance as a player, it's funny that he's in Dallas now. But just overall, like, the regime, how long he was here, like what happened. I mean, now that it's done, like it's hard. Like I know it's quick to process your thoughts, but just what are you thinking?
I just think it's wild, right? That we've got to win a Super Bowl or Super Bowl appearance with Brock Purdy, or they're out. I mean, they literally started. You said it. You know what I mean? The clock starts now. Like you can't run behind. Like my team got injured. No, like you ain't getting no more leash. It has to. And if they don't fire him because if they don't make it to the Super Bowl or NFC Championship, they don't fire him at the end of the year. They're never gonna fire him. You know what I mean? That means he's got a lifetime contract because it's been a debacle from the beginning.
Yeah. Crazy, right? Wow.
So now the expectation is Super Bowl or bust, period. They said it themselves with their actions. So now you hold them to that standard.
Yeah, I mean the clock's definitely ticking. Like they definitely put that on themselves. But there, again, there is a way out of it. If Brock Purdy ends up being the franchise quarterback, then it's like, hey, this is still the worst trade in franchise history / draft pick. But if you got your franchise quarterback, you can applaud that pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see how it plays out.
Winning's a cure. Cures everything.
It is.
But we'll see.
Yeah, it is. But it's got to be like winning. It can't be winning. It's got to be like winning a Super Bowl. Like that's where we're at. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. All right, Arturo, I got to get to the next one, man. Thanks for calling in.
All right, Jess. All right. Keep it up, man. Appreciate all your work, man. Keep it up, buddy.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. All right, let me get to these super chats real quick. And then Brother Bob. Can't wait to bring you on, man. Lone Wolf says, assuming all this goes through, I'm a fan of the Cowboys for his tenure there until the Niners front office is humbled and owns up. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a done deal, so we'll see. Someone's head has to roll for this mistake. I wonder what we could have done with those picks. Maybe get a better O-line, have started a dynasty by now. Yeah, maybe. Or they could have been really crappy picks. I don't know. My thing is like the picks, I don't know what they would have been. So for me, like I don't want to cry over spilt milk when it comes to that. It's just more of we genuinely never figured it out with Trey. It's not like he played for multiple years and we know he's a bust. And it's like, you know what? They tried. Like golf clap, you tried. It didn't work out. At least they got Purdy. We're good to go. But it's like you genuinely, it just feels like you didn't even try. And so what those draft picks feel more wasted. Like the capital feels more wasted. If you had spent it and you had done everything you could to bring him along and figure out who he was, all right, it sucks, but I can deal with it. It's now, what if he's really good? Because we don't know. What if in 2 years he's really good for the Cowboys? What if he's better than the quarterback? And it may not even be Brock Purdy by then, but what if in 2 years he's better than the quarterback the 49ers have? Now you've made 2 of the worst trades in franchise history with this regime around one player. Like that's a possibility. Now he also might be buns. I'm not saying he's going to be great, but that possibility exists now, right? So I don't know. Hey, Jesse, I'm happy for Lance. I really like the kid. Kyle messed up big time. He's not better than Sam. He's not better than Sam D. Good luck to Trey. Hope he shines over there. Oh, you're saying that Sam's not better? I don't know. I assume that's what you meant. Toby says, I'm so excited for Trey Lance. This is totally what he needed. I will root for him, but not the Cowboys. Yeah, I can't. Listen, I can't root for the Cowboys, but I will root for him. Like, I hope he plays really good and then they lose. Junior says, Sam Darnold is QB2. Let that sink in. Best of luck to my boy Trey. Much love, brother Jesse from Central Cali. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right, I got to get to these calls. We're going to go brother Bob here. What's up, brother Bob?
What up, Jesse?
It's good to actually hear from you, man.
Same here, my brother. Look, I'm going to show you around the office real quick. See all my Niner crap?
Yeah.
Even got the stapler, dog.
Oh, you got the red swing line Niner stapler. You're like the dude off Office Space. That's awesome.
Exactly, bro. Look, I'm pissed today. And I'm pissed because, look, and I had to call in. I called in to Ryan's show. By the way, man, keep doing your thing, man.
Thank
Seriously.
you,
bro. I appreciate you're like one of the only content creators and as well as Ryan OG who keeps it real. I mean, I love Grant, but he has to do his sensational thing, and that's cool. But anyway, check it out. Man, here's why I think this could end up being like Deion Sanders and Charles Haley. Not that Lance is as good as those guys. But just, you remember what happened? We lost those two. I know Deion left because of free agency, but we traded Haley. And then that mofo just wreaked havoc on us afterwards. Then Deion left, and then Deion left and went straight to Dallas and won a Super Bowl, just like Haley did.
Yep.
So I have problems trading with 2 teams, and those 2 teams are the Cowboys and the Packers. Never. Like, they could have traded him to the – seriously, bro. Like, they could have traded him like Cleveland. I guess they don't need him. But anywhere else, but not Dallas or Green Bay. And what this tells me is, honestly, I just think it's time for Kyle. And I know a lot of people think, oh, Kyle's so great. We've been 3, NFC championships. Yeah, but we haven't won a Super Bowl. And as you can see all this white hair on my face, bro, and on my head, you see that? Okay. I've been around for a while. I've been around for the Joe Montana days, Bill Walsh, and Steve Young. To me, success is winning the Super Bowl. Kyle hasn't won one, and I don't think he will. What Mike McDaniel said and what the recent guy said about, I forgot the other guy said he gets very emotional, and once you get on Kyle's bad side, that's it. Those are things that will prevent you from winning a Super Bowl because you have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to be flexible. And more importantly, you have to be able to find yourself a franchise quarterback. These are things Kyle has shown 7 years here with us that he cannot do. I mean, am I wrong? Am I tripping? Tell me.
No, I mean, yeah, I would tend to agree. I don't know if it means you can't win a Super Bowl. I think if he's, I'll say this, I would feel a lot better about Kyle Shanahan winning a Super Bowl if a quarterback was put in place prior to him coming here. Like if there was a franchise quarterback in place, let's say the Chargers fired their head coach this year and then Kyle Shanahan went there. I'd be like, I think he can win one over there, right? Because he's got the scheme. He does know, he puts together a good staff. They know how to build players properly and go through all. So in that situation, sure. But if it comes down to like him choosing the quarterback, I don't know. I mean, until I see it, if Brock Purdy ends up being great, then sure, that's awesome. But so far, like his track record of taking guys and actually building them up, I mean, it's non-existent. So it's hard to trust. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, here's a guy who decided, and I'll never get over this. He admitted he didn't scout Mahomes. To me, that's a fireable offense. Why would you admit that you didn't scout one of the best talents that's recently come out? And instead of scouting Mahomes and maybe even Watson, what does he do? He gets C.J. Beathard. Okay? I don't get that. Fine. You think he would learn from that? By the way, what's his name? Our current backup, Sam Ghost. Yeah, there's no
Darnold.
ghost around. Darnold, right. He's just another C.J. Beathard, just more talented.
Yeah.
But anyway, you get Beathard, then you move on. I'm going to just ignore Hoyer. Then you move on, you get Jimmy G. You lose the Super Bowl, which I was at that game. Then after that, you get to have Tom freaking Brady, and you're like, nah, I think Jimmy's better. What? Okay. You could have got rid of Jimmy with no cap ramifications, but you decide, I'm going to stick with Jimmy over Tom Brady. Then you couldn't get, he flirted with, he's at Stafford, couldn't get Stafford, couldn't get Rodgers. And so it tells me this, Jesse, maybe I'm wrong, Nails, but the established quarterbacks don't want to play for him, other than Brady, who just wanted to play for the Niners, right? Didn't we hear that one of these quarterbacks didn't want to play with him recently? It came out.
I don't know. I don't remember that. You might be right though.
So
here's what I'll say is to me, it's pretty clear that there is not a vision when it comes to this position. And we don't have to go. I mean, all those are indictments, but really the biggest indictment, and a lot of people really wanted to give him credit for Brock Purdy, right? Like Brock Purdy's so good, but really the biggest indictment was the article that came out 2 nights ago from Kawakami that said the 49ers, who want the cheap quarterback, right? Like that's what they're selling the fan base, was willing to bring back Jimmy Garoppolo in 2023 if he hadn't gotten hurt. It was anybody but Lance at all costs is the way that it was phrased. So that included bringing back Jimmy, who you had written off 3, 4, 5, how many times, and paying him big money again. But you wanted a cheap quarterback. So you're telling me you had Brock Purdy sitting there. You were so confident in him that you were going to bypass ever seeing him to bring back Jimmy. And then when Brock played, and I know it was only one game against Miami, I'm not saying like he's the guy, but you could tell like he was going to be sufficient at least to do something in the offense for the rest of the season. I mean, you don't need to see a bunch to understand that's a possibility. You're cold calling Phillip Rivers to, hey man, we got an open spot here. Hey Ben, what are you doing? I know you know what I mean? Like to me, the evaluation of quarterbacks has just not been good. And even if you think Trey Lance is a bust or whatever, which I disagree with, but if you think he's already a bust, then that comes back to quarterback evaluation and Kyle proving he can't do it. So anyways, I got to get to the next one, brother Bob. I appreciate you as always, man. We'll talk soon. Okay.
Same here, brother. Take care, man.
All right. Later. All right. Watch Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch spin it like Trey was. Oh, bro, I said this 2 days ago. Yeah, we're on the same page, 209er. Of course, we're gonna do right by him. It was the right thing for Trey. That's why we did it. Okay. If we wouldn't have traded up, we could have had Parsons. You want to know the best thing about that? The Cowboys got our pick. and they drafted Parsons. They got the capital. We spent a first-round pick that year on Trey Lance. They got the number 3 pick and got Parsons, all for a 4th rounder, it sounds like. So they're making out like bandits over there in Dallas, right? Glicksky? I don't know. F this organization. The Trey hate, or the hate Trey got, was unreal. He never had a chance. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Justin says, John and Kyle lies again. Not. He sent them to the Cowboys of all teams, also the same place we sent primetime and Charles Haley. And look at how bad they dog walked us for years. I hope it's not the same with this guy. God, I don't even want to think that right now. 49 Glory says, happy for Trey. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are clowns. Pray for Brock. I think that's the other thing. I mean, a lot of people are celebrating Trey being gone and, told you he was a bust and whatever, but I wouldn't fall in love with any of these quarterbacks because Kyle doesn't care. What an effing waste of picks. So do we know QB1 next year under Kyle? Wasn't he working out along with Patrick Mahomes? Kobe copied Jordan to 5 chips. Won't be surprised if he gets Dallas a chip. All eyes on Kyle. Could you imagine? I don't want to. Never mind. I'm not even going to imagine the Cowboys winning a Super Bowl. All right, let's go to Moose. Makes me sick. What's up, Moose?
Hey, Jesse, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, how's it going? Big fan of your work, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
So, yeah, I just want to talk about like this whole Trey Lance thing, and I'm just going to come out and introduce myself as like I was a huge Trey Lance fan. When he was in North Dakota State, I really wanted him over Mac Jones and Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to say, like, I feel like fans got to relax a little bit with this move, what the Niners are doing, because like, I mean, me personally, I really love what the Niners are doing right now because it just kind of shows how much confidence they have in Brock Purdy. You know what I'm saying? So I remember, like, you kind of mentioned this like a couple of weeks ago that, like, if you really believe in Brock Purdy as your guy, then there's no point of like going like bringing this kind of distraction and just kind of having that thought of someone like Trey Lance being behind Brock Purdy. Yep. Because when Trey Lance was drafted, I mean, I feel like the Niners kind of made a mistake of keeping Jimmy Garoppolo around. So that kind of like had an effect on Trey Lance in general. But what the Niners did with pretty much what the Niners just pretty much did with moving off of Trey Lance, it just kind of tells me that they're really confident in Brock Purdy, and that to me that should excite us as fans, because like I feel like they wouldn't have made this move if they didn't believe in Brock Purdy. So yeah, I feel like fans gotta relax, just trust the process in this point, and just kind of like just move forward at this point. So I mean, that's how.
Moose, I appreciate it, and here's what I'll say back to that. I mean, I'm not up, and you can see. I mean, there's not a lot of emotion in what I'm saying here. I think a lot. Again, it's funny when 2 days ago they announced, Sam Darnold was the backup quarterback, and I went live, and I think a lot of, I didn't get to see a lot of it because I just sit here where the super chats are. Fortunately, there's a lot of them, so I stay there. But I gotta imagine a lot of people are like, "Oh, Jesse, are you crying? Your boy Lance." Like, I know how it goes. Like, I know how the trolling goes. So I imagine that it's probably similar right now, but there's no emotion here. But what I do want to say though is, I love that if that's truly what it is. I also get the feeling that yes, while Brock is the guy now, that he also loves Sam just as much. And if something were to happen to Brock, he'd happily go to Sam and feel good about it. I don't feel like he's tied to any of these quarterbacks, which is fine. But I just don't think it's the feel-good story that I hope that it would be when they traded Trey Lance and saying, oh, it's because they're all in on Brock. I think he'd play Sam happily. Brock goes down, he'll move on quickly and doesn't care. That's just the feeling I get. And I think a lot of people really confuse the emotion from the fan base as they're upset about like Trey the player not getting a chance and stuff like that, which is true. But I think they're more upset about Trey the human. And now they're starting to really peel back the onion and be like, well, hold on. What about this? And what about this? And what about, you know what I mean? Like when you get frustrated, it's like if you're in a relationship you get frustrated with one thing, and you're like, well, hold on. Like, have I been lied to the whole time? You start remembering things that happen, and you're like, geez, these were signs. Like, I missed the signs the whole time. I feel like that's where people are at. They feel like they've just been lied to, and now they're going through everything in the relationship and remembering all the things that were red flags, and now they're really pissed. That's just the feeling I get. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, but that's how I read the situation.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Like on what you just kind of said about like how they feel about Sam Darnold or whatever. But
I mean,
if
he
that's
called
the
him
case,
Steve Young, Moose.
yeah. But if that's the case, man, like if they do play Sam Darnold, like he's on a 1-year contract. So you're telling me they're just gonna go move forward with Sam Darnold and give him a multi-year extension after that? Like that, I don't know. I feel like I feel like they're kind of really all in Brock Purdy. Like in my opinion, I just kind of think that Sam Darnold is kind of taking the Marcus Mariota route when he went to Raiders and was there for like a year or two and just kind of like calm himself down, and from there just kind of like take it easy. And then from next year he could probably get like a 2-year contract from some other team as a bridge quarterback or whatever. So kind of like what Mitchell Trubisky did in Buffalo when he was there for a year, and what Marcus Mariota did for the Raiders. So I just think that Sam Darnold's kind of going through that route, but I just don't think that they're just going to go all in Sam Darnold, because like right after the season, you just have to pay him big money if he actually pans out for you, you know? So I really think they're really all in Brock Purdy, you know, that's, and they're saying it, and they're really confident in it. And I mean, like we just got to watch and see, you know, but
Yeah, listen,
moving off
if Brock plays good, here's the thing now, and I don't care if you're a Trey guy, a Purdy guy, a whatever. There's a few Sam guys out there for whatever reason, but I hope we can all unite around the thought that let's pray that Brock Purdy doesn't get injured and doesn't play bad. I don't want to see Sam Darnold on the football field. That's just me personally, and I feel like 95% of this fan base would agree with that. So
Yeah.
I think that's where we're at now. Like, we're all behind Brock. It's no Sam at all costs. That's where I'm at with it.
I agree. And we'll see what Trey Lance does. I don't know. Do you think he's a backup quarterback behind Dak Prescott, or the quarterback 3 over there behind Cooper Rush as well? But
he's got to learn that system. Like he's got to learn a whole new system, whatever. I imagine that he'll eventually be the backup, and then they're going to evaluate things because Dak gets paid a lot of money. I think there's an out coming up on his contract in the next year or two. And so now they've got a guy that possibly, if they feel comfortable in a year or two, they could turn the franchise to. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out for Trey Lance.
Yeah, and like Dak Prescott, he's signed till 2025, and the Cowboys got to have to make a decision to pick up Trey Lance's 5th-year option. You know, so I don't know. I just think he's just going to be the backup there for the next 2 years until his rookie contract is up. You know, so
yeah. But he's also learning behind somebody who I mean, I don't know if I could think of a better. I mean, maybe like a Patrick Mahomes, but outside of that, like I feel like Dak, because of the situation he's been through, really is kind of the perfect mentor for somebody like Trey Lance. I really believe that. So I think it's going to be good for him whether he stays there past this year or not. I think this is a good change of scenery for him.
Right, exactly. And like the fans got to stop the doom and gloom, you know, Trey Lance winning the Super Bowl with the Cowboys, you know. So I just think it's a good place for him to learn more and just kind of, like you said, learn behind Dak Prescott. And we'll see how it goes. And, you know, like honestly, like the 49ers making that kind of conviction on Trey Lance is just kind of like I just think they know what he is at this point, you know, because like when they moved off
listen, Moose, I'm gonna pause it right there. They have no fucking clue. No, they have no clue. They may feel they obviously think they know. Like I'm not gonna take that from them, but nobody, I don't care if you spend every second with this kid, you haven't seen enough on the field to know for sure. They don't. It's impossible. It is literally impossible for them to know. So I'm sure they feel comfortable. Obviously, they feel comfortable. I'm sure they feel like they have a good read. They don't know for sure. A lot of these teams, we see it all the time with quarterbacks. They make mistake after mistake after mistake. They're definitely smarter than we are, but I'm not giving anybody enough credit to realize that they know exactly what Trey's going to be in 2 or 3 years from now based off of the 3 games they've seen him play. It's just not possible.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, and yeah, good luck to Trey Lance. And I know you're like one of his biggest believers before the draft happened. You know, like most other content creators wanted Justin Fields, but I remember you wanted Trey Lance during that time. So you were his fan since day one, and I remember that. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, Moose. Hey, you have a good one. Thanks for calling in, man. Call in anytime.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, later. I thought it was a good call. I mean, I thought it was a measure call. I just right there, I had to stop him. I'm not giving anybody that much credit. Nobody knows. Nobody knows yet. All right, we're gonna go to Jesus, JC, Coach, For Life Niner, Joe, Spencer, Jonathan, and E. Kim. So if you guys can't wait, I understand. I always like to, give you guys a rough wait time so you understand exactly what it is. Be respectful of your time. Appreciate you. All right, let's go to Jesus. Then I'll get to the super chats, and then we'll go to JC. What's up, Jesus? I think you're muted. You're muted.
Yeah,
there
sorry.
You go. You're good.
What's up, man? I changed my name from BX Niner for life.
Oh, I remember. Okay, yeah. BX Niner. Yeah, okay. That makes more sense. I like it. Okay.
Yeah, no, I took it down for right now because I don't know. They did this poor kid an injustice, man. They sabotaged the first 3 years of his career. I'm sorry. And now,
yeah, do you think? Let me at least ask you this. I think for me, I feel a little bit better now than I did yesterday or the day before, and the reason I say that is because I feel like they have done a disservice to him up to this point. That being said, I think hanging on to him for the sake of hanging on to him with no plan in place to really play him unless you had 2 quarterbacks go down, I think that would have been just disgusting to watch happen. So the fact that they did trade him and do it so swiftly, you got to imagine that they wanted more than a 4th round pick. I at least got to say, like I said, it's not perfect. It doesn't right the wrongs, but I feel better right now in this moment because of them doing that for him versus what I thought might happen yesterday and not knowing. So I feel a lot better about it right now. That's just me.
Yeah, I agree. It is better because now he's going to have an opportunity behind Dak Prescott. Like you were saying, everybody's saying Dak has his out on his contract coming up probably within the next couple of seasons. The plus side of it is he's going to go to a team that has at least a better offensive line than what we got right now.
Right.
So if he does get into the game, either Dak gets hurt or they want to see how he is on live action or something, he's going to have an O-line to give him the time to throw the ball and read the field better. Now, it sucks because we lost out on an opportunity for a good quarterback, but I'm going to see Kyle and Lynch try to spin this and saying, yeah, by releasing, trading Trey away, Dallas is taking over Trey's full guaranteed money for the next 2 years. So they're paying off whatever he's owed this year, the $6.5 million, and then they're paying it again next year. So they're going to spin it and say, well, now we got a little extra money to go ahead and try to get Bosa signed by week 1.
Yeah, maybe. The funny thing is that this money really plays nothing into Bosa's contract. So I think if that's the route they take, we know better. But I don't know if they'll spin it that way. I really think we'll see. I mean, we're going to find out after the game.
Look at how Kyle spin the quarterback situation. Yeah, we're going to rotate both Darnold and Trey for second QB.
Right. No, what I want to say though, but Jesus, what I want to say is that I think the smart play here, we'll see if they go the smart route, is to spin it as you're doing Trey Lance a favor. We love Trey. We wanted to keep him on the roster. We know that we might need 3 quarterbacks, and we really felt like we had 3 starters here. I mean, that's how we felt about the situation. But, when talking to Trey and thinking it through, there was some interest from other teams. We sent him where we felt and he felt after mutually talking is the best place for him to go. I think that's the way that it'll probably be spun because right now they look like villains. Like up till this trade, they look like villains. And because they sent Fred Warner to do your dirty work, you had a pre-recorded conversation on the radio. You didn't stand up in front of the team and tell them what was going on. They were confused. All of that. But now, the first time you have to face the media, you can come out and play the hero. I think that's the route they take, but we'll see.
That'd be, to me, that's just smoke and mirrors if they try to even come out that way. Because, like I said,
for sure. No. Listen, I'm not saying you can't read through it. I just think that's the smart play because I feel like probably 70% of people would eat that up.
Those who are going to be like, oh, yeah, well, I guess you're right. No, we know that's a whole bunch of bull. And the whole thing is now you have Brock Purdy. Can't take none away from the kid. He did good last season. He got hurt, unfortunately, just like Trey. But he's given the opportunity to come back and take over the spot with no type of competition, nothing. Yeah. Then they spin it for poor Trey to be in competition with Sam Darnold for number 2. But most of the preseason, it's Sam Darnold taking more reps than Trey. Kyle Shanahan says he looks at practice as more important than these preseason games to see who he determines who's a better quarterback. How can you determine a better quarterback if he's only throwing the ball 6 times in the game during practice? You can't. You know, and then on top of that, now you got Brandon Allen, who for the past 2 games has not practiced, not even with 3s. Who's your third quarterback? Now, come on now.
No, I get it.
It's ridiculous. It kills. It kills as a fan that I've been a fan for a long time. I'm talking about I was the only Niners fan in a house of New York Giants fans.
Ooh, that's rough. That's rough.
The only Niners fan there. Growing up watching this team through the late 80s.
Yeah, you had to watch some losses to the Giants in the playoffs too.
Yeah, so I've seen it both ways. And then they went through that downtime. Shanahan came in, he brought them back. We had it good with Harbaugh. Shanahan came in, and they've done what they did. And the only thing that John Lynch has done, like he said he was going to do during brick by brick in the beginning, was he was going to build our team with talented players. He has all of that. They mismanaged the main position, which is QB, and they're still mismanaging it because they're doing the same thing they did to look what they did to Trey. They didn't do it with Jimmy. When they drafted Trey, they kept Jimmy on, not for 1 year, but for 2. Brock Purdy does good for 7 games, gets hurt in the 8th, and now they trade Trey the following year. So that way Brock Purdy doesn't have to worry about nobody being behind him that's good, that can be better than he is if he's given the opportunity to develop.
Yeah, this is crazy, bro. It's a done deal now. I mean, everything is officially official. So it's
like
over.
Like everybody's saying, I will root for Trey if he plays in Dallas. And if we play against Dallas and Trey's the quarterback and he lights us up,
I couldn't do it.
That would be the phone call that Jed needs to do and say, "Hey, I'm sorry," or even Lynch to say, "Yo, we got to trade Kyle, get him out of here. He didn't do us a disservice with our quarterback."
I can't pin any good things on the Cowboys. But shout out to Trey. I'll be rooting for you playing, but like I said, I'll be rooting for you as an individual, but I hope the team loses. All right. I'll talk to you later, Jesus.
All right, man.
Later. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't. It's too much. I can't. I believe Jerry Jones and the Cowboys think they just got to steal at quarterback. Yeah, I think a lot of teams do. Beats and Meats says Sam Darnold freaking sucks. He's a loser. Always has been. Always will be. Wait till Brock sprains an ankle, and we rank 2 games. That'll be the difference between the number 1 seed and the number 4 seed. Let's not hope for anything like that. I just don't want to see Sam play. Kyle Price says Kyle has The 3 worst trades in 49ers history, both Trey Lance trades and DeForest Buckner. I don't want to watch a 49ers game anymore now. Oh, I forgot about the Buckner trade. Golly. OC Niner says, I'm a member. Appreciate you. NG49 says, Cowboys are my most hated team of all. I know. This is sad, pathetic week. I can never root for a Cowboy. This is awkward because I like Trey and Kyle's a piece of... All right, I got you. I know it is awkward, right? The Young Montana says, I'm a member for 6 months. Manifesting, Purdy, Darnold, banana hands. I don't even, there's a lot of emojis there. Jalen says, I predicted that he would get traded to the Cowboys on Larry's call-in show. This is wild. Wow. That's super wild. That's actually really, really crazy. Wow. Enoch says, here's a super sticker. Damn, Enoch. I'm going to do my best to find your name through all the mud. I don't know if I can do it because I doubt you wanted to just send a super sticker. So I'm going to bring on JC and then I'll try to see if you said something close after that. What's up, JC?
Hey, not much. How you doing, Jesse?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Hey, pretty good. I'm not good. You know
No,
that.
not good.
This
Okay.
is,
Yeah, all right.
this is just bad. But I got to give you props, man. I watched you the other day. You were the first guy to come out on the people that I watch anyway. When Trey didn't show up for practice, you went on there. You said he's asked for a trade. You called it. And then now from then on, you've been calling it all the way, the spins, what they're going to say, way in advance of them saying it.
Yeah, I mean, you do this long enough, you kind of get a pulse of.
Oh yeah, I watch you, Grant, Ryan, Krug, but you came out first. You took time out of your day to come on and say, man, he's asked for a trade. And then I watched your cast. The 49ers are liars. And
yeah,
then,
I don't think a lot of people didn't like that one, but you know what? Listen here. Yeah. Let me actually real quick. I'm gonna hold on a second. I'm gonna give you more time, but let me address this while you're talking about it.
Okay.
Because I know that pissed a lot of people off. What people don't realize is like I'm also a fan of this team, and I know that people will say like, "Oh, you're a Trey Lance guy, and are you gonna go to the Cowboys now?" And listen, I'm a 49er fan. I got $1,000+ sitting here in memorabilia right here. You don't spend that kind of money and invest that kind of effort into something that you don't like. You don't buy $50 hats, 30 of them, if you don't like a team. You don't get on every night, after your family goes to bed, stay up till 1 a.m. if you don't like a team, right? Like, I love the 49ers. That was a bond my father and I had. My dad's now passed away. I love the 49ers. I am a Trey Lance fan, still a Trey Lance fan. I want to see him do well. That being said, as a 49er fan, I understand that, like, I'm the guy, on YouTube or whatever. I go through emotions as a fan just like you. The difference is this. My emotions, I don't hide, and I put them on the camera for y'all to see. Every twist and turn, every thought I have, everything. The times that you're sitting in the living room with your friends and you have conversations, and then you're like, a day later, you're like, oh, that was stupid. I didn't mean that. Or, man, I was wrong about that. And you kind of joke with your one friend that was there to hear it. Imagine doing that in front of thousands of people at a time. So yes, I'm going to be wrong. I'm going to be emotional as a fan, but I'm always going to be real in my thoughts as a fan. And I do that because I love this right here. Most of all, I love everybody in the chat. I love the support. I love the community. All of it I love. But I can get emotional just like you because I am also a fan of this team. And that emotion wouldn't happen if there wasn't fandom there. So anyways, JC, go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to go and capitalize on that. Since then, John has come out and said, oh, we fully expect Trey Lance to be on the team for the season. This stuff doesn't happen overnight. They knew right when you knew. He came out and bawled face lied.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and that's what's got me. You know, I mean, I've been a 49ers fan. I'm just like you. I'm a 49ers fan. It does, just because I get disgusted doesn't mean I'm going to not be a 49ers fan. You know, I mean, I watched Joe Montana. That's when I became a fan. I've been through Chip Kelly and Tom Sula, and they did not make me happy. But
Right.
just
Right.
because they come on and win, these guys, I know people like Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch and stuff. Kyle Shanahan, everybody talks about his coaching tree. That's just a list of names that went on to be better than him.
Oh, damn.
You know, because
It's crazy.
I went on a Grant show and told him, I said, I predict this, that there's going to be one person won a Super Bowl ring before the 49ers, and it's going to be Trey Lance. I really, really did not want Trey Lance to go to the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys. I hate Dallas as a team, you know, not people.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I
Hey,
mean,
we got
that
some
rivalry
Texas
from
faithful.
the
I know we
90s.
got some Texas faithful in the chat, so we love you.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's all team, you know, and I love getting
Yeah, of
together
course.
with Dallas people when, you know, when they play each other and stuff, because it's a spirited rivalry. It's like Seattle. You know, Seattle's one of the best rivalries and the most fun, you know, and the best games. So,
And it's division, which is nice too, right? You get to see it a
yeah,
couple times a year.
yeah. So, but Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan just knows how to pick people to take credit for.
Yeah.
He doesn't do much. He is probably a great play designer, but he loses the details, like what got Brock Purdy hurt. You know, oh, I got a third string tight end on an all-star defensive end. You know, I mean, he misses things like that at crucial times. And
Yeah.
he misses stuff. How many times has he been to the fourth quarter and lost double-digit leads? You know, but because he's right. I'm Kyle Shanahan. We got here now. It's I got it, but he don't got it.
Well, JC,
Yeah,
here's
I
the
think
thing.
this year, Brock Purdy, I really pray for him because he got tendencies to roll out, and people are going to catch it, and we don't have the line to stop him. Our line was so much better last year than it is this year, and it wasn't all that good.
I feel it. JC, listen, I appreciate you calling in. I got to get to the next one, man. Thank you so much for the support, and we'll talk soon.
One more thing.
Yeah.
All right. Lowell said he needed 60 games to judge a quarterback. You have 55 with Sam Darnold.
We're 5 away.
Yeah. All right. Thanks,
bro.
Jesse.
Later. He's been around a long time as a Niner fan, man. Enoch, listen, I tried. Maybe you did just mean to send a super chat or a super sticker, rather. I looked briefly after you'd posted that and didn't see it. So, Brother Bob says, I'm so mad. I hate the Cowboys and the Packers. Yeah, you said that on your call. Obviously, I'm behind here. TC12 says, here's $1.99. Appreciate you. Jay Mellis says, Dallas is partying their assless chaps. Michael says, gotta be honest, I'll be paying more attention to my fantasy team this year. Maybe this 49ers team will grow on me, but they are much less interesting. Yeah, they're definitely a little less interesting today, for sure, but the season's just getting ready to start, man. There's a lot of crazy stuff that's about to happen. Red and Gold says, laugh out loud, all their QBs are better than Lance, too. Who? You really? Ooh, I don't know about Cooper Rush, but okay. Ink Talk TV says, drop the chat link, cuz I did. Should be in there. OC Niner says, the organization made it clear how they feel about us paying fans when they traded him to our most hated rival. Yeah, I don't think they care. Drew Barber says, just relax. Kyle won't get Brock hurt again. I definitely heard the sarcasm there. Bruce says, are we that much sold on Purdy after the injury? You know what? Here's the thing. I think it's less being sold on Purdy and more they're just sold on Sam as a possible option if Purdy goes down. Like, yes, they're sold on Purdy, but they're also, as John Lynch would say, convicted on Sam Darnold, which that's what blows my mind. Jimmy Kwan says, Jesse, Sam is dinking and dunking in practice tells me that he knew he was QB2 when he signed and just didn't want to stink it up until he was crowned QB2. There's no turning back now. Yeah, let's just hope Sam doesn't have to play. Abraham says, please tell me Kyle is on the clock. I think the fan base kind of decides that a little bit, right? Like Jed York and John York and them, they're worried about their money. And fans pay for everything. So if after this year they don't get as far as what's expected and fans stop buying merchandise in droves or buying season tickets, they'll take notice. But, I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying the pulse I'm getting from the fan base is that that's a possibility, but we'll see. Coach says, let me bring this up.
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Jesse? Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up? I got you.
Hey, man. Hey, first and foremost, man, thankful for what you do. Hey,
thank you, bro.
Your channel's solid, man. Everything you do, your content off the chain, man. Really quick, I just want to jump on and say, man, as a Niner fan, it's a sad day, but we still got to root for our team. We still got to be there. But I'm just looking at Lance, man. I'm a big Lance fan. When he came out, I was like, man, going to Dallas for the next 3 to 4 years, we have to play Trey. I mean, that team over there with Trey, Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Pollard, Diggs, the old line is solid. For the next 3 to 4 years, that's going to be a tough team, man. If Trey gets it together, man, that team's going to be, remind me of the days of the 90s Cowboys. They're going to be tough, man. But, at the end of the day, I hope he does good, man. I hope he does good. But as far as Colin, what's your thoughts on why couldn't they do this after the 3rd preseason game?
I mean, I think you just got to strike while the iron's hot. I personally do like that I personally do like that they got it done as quick as possible. Like, yeah. I actually appreciate that they did that. And I think that it is important that, Kyle Allen is now going to be your 3rd string quarterback. We've seen a lot of quarterbacks have to play. And if Kyle Allen has to play, I mean, there's been a lot of practices that he got 0 reps because they were doing this back and forth.
Right.
Also, you have him not playing in the last preseason game. Then he had a kid, so he wasn't able to practice for a couple of days. Like, I think Kyle Allen does need some of these reps as well. So I think just ripping the Band-Aid off and going, I actually appreciate that they did it as quickly as they did. I really do.
Okay. Yeah.
I know that I'm hard on the organization, but that I do appreciate that.
No. I'm just saying because from just making sure making sure all the quarterbacks come out healthy. I mean, you never know what happens in a preseason game.
Yeah. No, that's I didn't even think about it. Like
so
that.
Why couldn't?
No, I feel it.
What happens if Sam Darnold tweaks his damn Achilles or something? You never know. So I was just I would have waited till after, make sure everybody's healthy, and then go ahead and let him go. That's just my take, but
and not play them type of thing. Like, don't play him, and then yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. Don't play him. Sit him out. Let the other, make sure everybody gets their reps in, and if all of them come out healthy, then you pull the trade.
No, that's actually a really good point. I didn't think about it like that.
But then because at the end of the day, you never know what happens tonight. So, other than that though, I wonder if Trey does Trey have an option to not to agree to a trade to where he goes?
No. He doesn't have a no trade clause or anything. Very few NFL players do.
I feel like the Niners did this on purpose, man, so we could root against him because he's a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Maybe
it's like we can't root for him because he's a Dallas Cowboy. So I mean, damn. But at the end of the day, man, I hope he does good, man. That kid deserves a shot. He's done nothing but show class, professionalism. He did everything. He they sent him to a quarterback coach. He went to different ones just to please them. I think that, I think that was kind of funny that he went to a coach that he chose, and I felt like that really fucking. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. But
no, you're fine. You're fine.
I think that really bro, Shanahan's the wrong way. You know,
Yeah.
why you're not going to my coaches? You know, so it makes him look bad. But look, at the end of the day, look, I hope Purdy, you know, for what he did last year, you know, he deserved to start. I had not, you know, obviously Purdy had to start. He's the best with this offense. You know, I'm a root for the Niners. Hopefully, we have a good season. You know, hopefully we get to the Super Bowl because that's what we play for, man. We don't play just the NFC Championship games, man. We play for Super Bowls. So I was, you know, one of your callers said that they grew up in a Giants household. I did too. I'm the youngest brother out of 4. They were all Giants fans, and man, we were going at it in the 90s, man. Oh my God, it was bad. It was bad, but you know, I'm rooting for my Niners.
Holy crap! You know what I just realized? I forgot. We play the Cowboys like week 5.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yep.
Oh, damn. That means Trey's going to be back in the building. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Oh, that's crazy. Wow. Yeah. All right.
So,
I didn't even, anyways, just hit me.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it short, man. But thank you for the opportunity, man. Continue to put that content out, man. It's fire.
Thank you, bro.
And look to chat with you soon.
All right, bro. You have a good one.
You too.
Coach, there's Coach. Over under 1.5. I can't. I don't want to put injury on anybody, so hopefully 0. But statistics tell us over 1. Samuel says, "Hey, from Australia, this is deplorable. I really like Purdy, but I feel sick at the treatment of this poor kid. I wanted to see him play 4th round." Yeah, I mean, this officially stamps it. Worst trade in franchise history to move up to number 3. Beats and Meats says, "Great. They're all in on Purdy. 14 QB injuries in 6 years. Unless someone other than Kyle is calling plays, you can expect the worst possible scenario." That's also true. TC12 says, "Trey will expose Kyle's offense to Dallas." Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's not a lot of tricks in the NFL. We'll see. Starkiller says, "Wasted pick. You could have drafted Micah Parsons." Yeah, and now Dallas has both. Adam says, "This reminds me of the Red Sox trade of..." That's so funny. That's what came through my mind. Trading between like 2 rivals. Yeah, that's interesting. That actually crossed my mind as well. This will come back to bite us. If not, for nothing else, I mean, what if it's like the curse? You know what I mean? I don't know. Jorge Luis Satillo says, "Greetings from the 305. Purdy versus Lance is the new Young versus Aikman." That'd be crazy. Hey, if we got either one of those guys, I'd be happy. Enrique Salas, but we know Sam Darnold's the true Steve Young. Kyle Shanahan said it. Enrique says, "Trade Kyle to get our 1st-round picks back." Nice. Flav says, "Wish the best for Trey, but Dallas just got fleeced." They got Parsons and our number 3 pick. What you mean? They fleeced the shit out of us. All right. For Life Niner, Joe Mahoney, Spencer, Ekim, and then, oh wait, For Life Niner, you're in there twice. Here, let me remove this one and then go back to you over here, because this seems to be your active one. What's up, man? Oh,
had it. We good?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I got you. Yes.
All right. What's up, Jesse? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
This moment is hectic right now. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
To say the least, right?
It's crazy, bro. I just my wife had to come and tell me the news. I said, "Nah, it ain't true," but it is, right? I went straight to your channel to make sure that everything was the facts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're doing your thing. Hey, Jesse, you're doing your thing, bro. Keep that going. I just want to say permission to speak freely.
Yeah, ish.
I'll keep it to a minimum.
You can cuss.
Yeah, okay. I'll keep it to a minimum.
Yeah.
But I'm pissed off, bro. I'm pissed off.
I feel it.
But I'm not gonna let my emotions get the best of me. You feel me? Like, I'm looking at the organization and all that, and how they're moving, and I know how Shanahan be doing this thing, like, you know. But here's what I want to ask you, Jesse. Is let's look at his daddy, Mike Shanahan. Let's look at his dad.
Yep.
He got what, 3 Super Bowls?
Yeah.
There's 3 of them, right? Okay. Not every offspring is going to be like their daddy. Sometimes you can have a dry season. You see what I'm saying? And I had talked to you a while ago about if Shanahan overthinks his strategies to when we get to the promised land, he just don't have nothing else because throughout the season. Do you think, bro, really, do you think that his dad's hand is up his ass? You know what I'm saying? Like a puppet. And look, no, real. And I ain't trying to be harsh.
No. I actually, I'm taking in what you're saying, and it is hard to overlook that this man sits in the corner of the practice with his arms folded and watches everything.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly. And nobody's paying like that. And that's what I'm looking at, bro. Like I'm looking at that. And I'm just like, okay. And then I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist or whatever, but I'm sitting there like, okay, if let's just say Shanahan is out the door and he knows this shit, right? Is he trying to make our roster boo-boo, like trash before he leaves? I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. But he's going to have to get in his bag this season to redeem everything that he has done right now. He's going to have to be in his bag. And I don't know if it's a Gucci bag or a 99-cent store bag. I don't know. But you better dig into it. Dig into it, bro, because I'm over here pissed. You hear me? I'm a Niner fan, bang, bang all day. But I'm like, I don't like the way they're orchestrating how they moving things. He plays chess. Right now, it seems like he's playing checkers. I don't know. But his schemes is the part that always gets me. He might be doing things for the media. He might be keeping us all puzzled. And he has a master plan. That's what I'm saying. Dig into that bag, man. I hope that he is. Because for one, when I first heard about that, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I can't stand the Cowboys, bro. I can't stand them. I sit down. I can't stand on it. But it made me feel like going to a Niner game wearing a Trey Lance Cowboy jersey with a Niner hat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? That's just how I felt. You feel me? But like I said in the beginning, I'm gonna put my emotions aside. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see how it works out. But Jesse, man, what do you feel about what I said about his Kyle Shanahan and his dad?
Yeah, I mean, I know that he's a part of this organization in some sort of fashion. And I know that he definitely was at the practices. He'd sit there in the corner with his arms folded, evaluating things. I know that when he's not physically at practice, they basically have a feed to the practice so he can watch. He watches film, and him and Kyle talk every week. So I mean, I don't know if it's a situation where Kyle just like really respects his dad's feedback, but I do know that he like really, like, I feel like Kyle's career, he almost does it not for himself, but he does it for his dad. You hear him talk about his dad and like how smitten he is and proud to be Mike Shanahan's son. Like, he really is like, my dad's the best coach that's ever lived, and he got a raw deal, and I'm gonna avenge the last name. Like, that's the chip he has on his shoulder, which I think having a chip on your shoulder like that's great. I just don't know how much of it is still his dad kind of running things or him. I don't know. I don't know.
And that's the part, though.
I don't know. I have no idea.
And that's the part, bro. Not to cut you off, but that's the part. It's like they're always so stuck into their schemes and their scams on how they move in the Shanahan era. But here's the part: it's like, as a dad, you want to see your son do something different. You see what I'm saying? Like, do your own thing. Do it better than I did. Like, I always tell my son and my kids, like, don't be like me, do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, do better, like, be greater than me. That's what you want. You don't want to be at the same level throughout your generation. But like I said, man, I'm just overexcited. I'm pissed off, and I just don't know what to do with myself. But I know to check in with Jesse, bro. I know you're gonna set me right, bro. I appreciate you. Keep doing your thing, man. I'm gonna tap in with you, and you get on to the next caller, brother.
All right, bro. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the support. I love it. That's what it's for, man. Get your emotions out, Then we move on, and we're Niner fans, and we root for the season. We root for Purdy. We root for everybody on this team, and let's go. El Show de El Gato says, Flav's a clown. I hope now he goes away since his one trick shot is done. With all we know, why he didn't like Lance and CK. Flav, man, I'm telling you, I know that that's not how you want to come across, but bro, this is what people think of you. I don't know if I'd be proud of that. Twisted Clown says, Kyle playing 5D chess. Trade Trey. Don't sign Bosa. let BA walk and all go to the Cowboys to win a Super Bowl. Kyle takes credit. Jeez. That'd be like the ultimate sabotage. Melody Moonfire says, Kyle making my girlfriend cry right now. Shaking my head. Timothy Glander says, can't wait to see Sam get all those reps tonight. KW2421 says, what mistakes did Kyle make with Lance, if any? Oh, I like this. Did they just screw up on their assessment when they decided to draft him overall? Anything else? I mean, no matter what, there's a screw up that happened. Like, you may say, you know what, I just don't think Trey Lance is any good. Okay, that's fine. Like, you're entitled to that opinion. But if he's not any good, then that means Kyle Shanahan over-evaluated him, right? Like, that is the mistake. And even if he's not any good, like, do you really think they poured all their resources into making sure that he had the best chance to be good? I mean, I don't think that's the case. So I think there's multiple ways they screwed up. So it doesn't, I mean, like I said, whether Trey Lance is really good now or really bad, like, either way, for the 49ers, it's the worst trade in franchise history. Rodman says, well, I guess no more quarterback controversy. Not good for content creators. 49er fans are out of their mind crying over a player. Go root for Dallas, fake fans. See, this is what I don't understand. Like, who appointed you the one that gets to decide who's a fan and who's not? Like, where's that at? Like, I don't remember getting a fan card when I was 6 years old watching games with my dad. And I don't remember giving you permission to pull it. I don't really care. So you can say what you want about these people, but you don't get to decide that. Rodman, sorry, that's not the way it works. Steve-O Canivo says, I think the team didn't want to give the fans the opportunity to get loud for Trey like they did last Saturday. Yeah, that's maybe a possibility. All right, let me get to the rest of these callers and we'll get through these super chats. We're going to go to Joe, Spencer, and then Ekim. We're going to end it with Ekim, which is ironic because normally we start it with Ekim, but not tonight. What's up, Joe? Joe going once. Joe going twice. All right, I'll go back to you. I'll give you another shot. You've been waiting a while. Let's go to Spencer, then Joe, then Ekim. What's up, Spencer?
Hey, Jesse. This is going to be an interesting offseason for me and season as well. I'm down here in Fresno, so I get to watch Derek Carr play for my Uncle Saints, and Trey Lance is now a Cowboy. It's been a whirlwind of feelings this offseason, so I'm going to take a look. I'm going to take the perspective of Trey Lance. If you had to go to some organization, what organization do you want? Your feeling coming out right now is that Kyle and the Niners basically never wanted you, essentially said, we're never going to help you. We're going to send you to QB coaches that aren't going to help you get better in the areas that you need to get better at. And then when he goes to a coach that I think most 49er fans are going to admit actually helped him get better throwing the football, which is what he struggled with. The organization was like, no, Sam Darnold's better, which I don't understand. And now he's traded to Dallas, and despite the fact that he's now a Cowboy, I'm gonna say something nice. For all his faults, Jerry Jones holds on to his players. Like, he loves his players. Like, if you're a Cowboy, he's gonna hold on to you and say everything nice possible thing about you that he can, and say, I'm not trading you. He's gonna work out, and like basically give him a hug. He's gonna wrap his arms around him and give him a hug, which is what Lance needs. This is what Lance needs. Like, he just needs a hug, which is good for him. Like, good. Like, but worst case scenario for us coming out of this is that we just did the worst trade in franchise history, trading up to get him, and now we traded him away. Okay, cool. Now let's assume Lance is good. Let's just assume that Lance is good. We just gave away a really good quarterback for a 4th-round pick that we could have gotten. And that if we actually put in the effort to actually hug him and like improve him in the areas where he needs to improve, he could have been ours for cheap. I don't get it. And no disrespect to Brock Purdy, but my issue with him is that he struggles to throw to one side of the field, and he's already injured, and this offensive line is already scaring me. So he could be injured again. And knowing Kyle and the history of this team under Kyle, there's a high chance he's going to get injured. And then we have to play Ghost Boy, which just terrifies me. So you're compounding a problem in drafting Trey Lance and never giving him the actual help he needs to develop. And then you're compounding it by trading him away toward an organization in the Cowboys that wraps their arms around players and develops them properly. Like, for all the faults of Jerry Jones, they develop players really well. Like, that's what their MO is. We draft, we develop. So if we don't do well, or at least minimum make the Super Bowl this year, either Kyle Shanahan or John Lynch, they need to be gone. Like, they're compounding 2 of the worst possible deals ever into one offseason. And if they don't do well, one or either of their heads needs to roll. I don't know. But hey, I got the Saints to root for down here in Fresno. So at least there's going to be some positive.
Do you think the Saints win that division?
I think they do, only because I think Derek Carr is pretty good, but I think that they have the most talent in that team. It's like us in the West. We are the most talented team, or like relative to the rest of the division. And so I think the Saints are going to win that division. It's just going to be a question of how are they going to win it? Is it going to be like a 10-7 win, or is it going to be like a 12 or to 13 win division clinching?
Yeah, I got you. I feel like probably closer to that 10-7, right? Like it just feels like that kind of division to me. But we'll see. Yeah, I'm curious to see how Derek Carr does. Man, there's a lot of quarterback movement this year. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. You know, you got Aaron Rodgers to the Jets, obviously Jimmy G to the Raiders. 49ers have Brock Purdy that, you know, I know he's not new to the team, but this is his first time being a full-time starter. There's just all the rookies that have come in. I think there's a lot of good quarterback movement that's going to make this year a lot of fun. So I'm excited for the football season, not even just the 49ers season, just overall football, man. That's going to be great. So
certainly, like they say, the NFL is a show, and well, they're certainly putting on a show.
They are. They definitely are. I wonder what the script is this year. Hopefully it's the 49ers winning a Super Bowl.
All
right, Spencer.
Pray to God, man. All right. See you, Jesse.
Later. That's the script. Brother Bob says, we definitely seeing Ghostman under center. Kyle Shanahan kills quarterbacks. Ugh. Everyone's saying fire Kyle. Can't give a replacement. Has anybody come on here and said fire Kyle? I don't know if anybody said that. I think everybody's willing to hold him more accountable now. I think it's fair. I think you know what's funny is you hear things like Super Bowl or bust, right? And people get so mad, like, oh, what are you going to do? You fire Kyle? Like, that's crazy. But Kyle has that expectation for himself. That team has that expectation for Kyle. Like, we're not expecting anything that the 49ers or Kyle himself isn't expecting. So, like, why can't we just expect what they expect of themselves? You know what I mean? But I'll give you 2. Ben Johnson and Mike Kafka. I'll take those guys. I'm not saying they'd be better than Kyle, but if we moved on from Kyle, that's who I'd like to get. 49er fan LA says, y'all got to feel played, so emotionally invested. I don't know. I don't think I'm showing that much emotion up here. Dustin Nagale says, might not be a fan anymore. There hasn't been a Pro Bowl quarterback since Jeff Garcia, and they just traded away the future with the 4th round pick. We'll see. We'll see. Dead inside. Damn, bro. Damn. It's crazy. Derek Power says now Trey has an O-line in front of him with weapons. He also has a good quarterback in front of him, too. Michael McCann says, not hoping for regular season losses, but I really hope that Sam and Allen shit. Okay, let me lay out a scenario for you. What if come week 5, somehow it's Sam Darnold versus Trey Lance when the 49ers play the Cowboys? How intriguing would that be? Right? Like the backup you chose over Trey Lance, and now Trey Lance is in the building and they're going against each other. Talk about a script. There's a script for you. If I'm the NFL, that's the script I'm writing. All right. We're going to go back to Joe, see if he's available. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Jesse, can you hear me?
I got you.
How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Not good. Not good.
Not good.
Oh,
I feel it.
man. Let's backtrack, Jesse. Let's backtrack.
All right. Let's do it.
Let's go back to 2017. Here's my issue. 2017, we could have had Mahomes, right? The plan was to wait on Kirk Cousins, right?
Facts. Yep.
Right. We lost 9 straight games, Jesse. Could have had Mahomes. Could have scouted him. Didn't even scout him. Didn't scout Watson. Right. He ends up beating us in the Super Bowl. We trade for Jimmy. You know, he didn't make it, and then we trade 3 first-round picks for a quarterback who we sat on the bench. Only started 4 games. I got a problem with that, Jesse, because on one hand, you basically said we are going to develop every other position, put all our assets on edge and linebacker, receiver, running back, tight end, tackle, but the quarterback position, last I checked, was the most important position on a football team. You know, and I keep saying this, we do everything ass backwards. You know, we are supposed to get the quarterback position right the first time. The first thing you do, you get a quarterback. First thing you do. We are going into year 7 still without a franchise quarterback. So my question to you is, when is this going to stop, Jesse? Because we need a quarterback. You know, I'm not saying I don't like Brock Purdy. I like Brock Purdy. I do. You know, but I've tweeted you this privately, and I'll say it publicly. How many times have the 49ers won a Super Bowl with a dink and dunk quarterback? Last I checked, 0. Last I checked, got to be able to throw the deep ball. Brock Purdy can't throw the deep ball. Jimmy couldn't throw the deep ball. If he could throw the deep ball, we'd be Super Bowl champs. There was a deep ball. Emmanuel Sanders in the 4th quarter missed him. I like Brock Purdy. Need to be able to throw a deep ball. Have to. Defenses now could play up. Right? Take away half the field because you can't throw deep. Trey Lance could have made all the throws, but you didn't even want to give him a chance. You just sat him on the bench and said, nope, sit right there. Right? Got a problem, bro. That's a problem. I'm sorry, but that's a problem. And now we don't know what we're going to do with quarterback. Brock's coming off an injury. We don't know how he's going to hold up. Is he going to last 17 games? I don't know. Maybe. I hope. You know, then what? Sam Darnold? You going to put all your eggs in Sam Darnold? A guy who admitted that he says, I see ghost on the field? Okay. I don't know, man. Go ahead, Jesse.
No, man, I feel your frustration for sure. I mean, I guess the pushback would be, and you know, I don't necessarily disagree with anything you said. I mean, I've put my thoughts out there on Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy. Like everybody could see that, but I do like playing devil's advocate just to see, maybe get you to think a little bit. What if we're both wrong and Brock Purdy is the franchise quarterback? Then how do you feel?
I mean, I feel good. Again, I like Brock Purdy. Don't get it twisted. I like Brock Purdy. I really, really like Brock Purdy. I was very impressed with what he did last year. Last pick in the draft. Great story. You know, no one wanted him. It kind of reminds me in a way like Kurt Warner. It's obviously it wasn't bagging groceries like Kurt did, but it's kind of the same thing. Like no one wanted him. Last pick in the draft. It always seems like there's narratives against the 49ers, right? If you think about it, like in 2012, Ray Lewis was his last year. I always felt like, man, they really wanted to give it to Ray. Like they didn't even, to me, it wasn't even a fair game because there was calls that weren't called. There was a Ray Lewis needed to go out a champion. Like that's how I felt. Like we were never going to win that Super Bowl because that's just how I felt. 2019, it was Pat Mahomes. He was his cover of the, that's who they were moving on from Brady to Mahomes. That's just what it is. And that was the narrative, right? Mahomes is ascended, right? He's the guy now, right? So then you look at Brock Purdy, maybe we could have had some good fortune, last pick in the draft, it would have been interesting if he stayed healthy, right? Like you would have had the first ever rookie to make a Super Bowl. No rookie has ever made a Super Bowl. That would have been interesting. And I really would have been interested to see last pick in the draft versus the Golden Boy, right? Like, what do you do at that point if you're trying to sell to your NFL fans, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe we would have got some calls. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, bro. I mean, definitely interesting situation. It does feel like I'm not going to go as far as say as the league is rigged, but it does feel like sometimes the deck is stacked against you. You go through those Super Bowls, that Seattle game in the NFC Championship. I really felt like, damn, they really got the short end of the stick there on those calls. Those were some crazy calls. And what I think what sucks and like the biggest heartbreaking thing is sometimes when you lose, like the 49ers for 4 years running or 3 years running when Jim Harbaugh was here were the second best team in the NFL. Like that's the way it was. Yep. And I feel like we're kind of going through that again. It's like, man, how long until we break through? We just got to break through. So hopefully it's this year, man. I think another story that we're not thinking about is Jonathan Taylor, man. Like this Trey thing just happened. This is great, but Jonathan Taylor goes to the Eagles. Oh, I don't know how we beat that team. I really don't. Like that team is too stacked.
I don't even honestly, bro. Like I don't even think this team would beat the Eagles, bro. With Brock Purdy. Like I don't know. I don't know if he has what it takes to beat Eagles. I just don't. Like, and then Nick Bosa. Like, what are we doing with Nick Bosa? What if we don't sign him? What if we lose?
He's a.
You know what I mean? And at what point? At what point do we sign Nick Bosa? Week 6, week 7? It hasn't been done. I'm worried, Jesse. I am worried mightily because I do not want to start the season without Nick Bosa. A lot of people say, "Oh, Jimmy wins when he played." My argument to that was, yeah, well, I could turn it on you and say, well, Nick Bosa wins. What was our record without Nick Bosa?
No, that's a very good point. No,
yep. Last I checked, he only missed one season. No, the season that he didn't miss, we were 6-10.
Yeah,
Jimmy played, Nick didn't. We weren't in the playoffs, so he's a big part of our
I set the deadline for like being worried for this upcoming Monday on Nick Bosa. So I'm gonna give it. I said we'll give it through the 3 preseason games. We'll give it until the Monday after. But if he's not signed by end of day Monday, I'm officially like, okay, I'm a little worried here. So hopefully he's signed by then. I don't even want to go through it.
Yeah, man. All right, Jesse, I'm gonna get out of here. I know you got other callers, but
all right, bro.
I appreciate you, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, man. And shout out to you and Last Second Sports, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you for always supporting, man. There's Mahoney, Joe Mahoney. All right. Michael says, not hoping for regular season losses, but I really hope. Okay, yeah, I already read that one. Stu Passon for gaming. Anyways, they ain't want the smoke at the game tonight. W. Rivera says, Cowboys have a preseason game tomorrow. We should see a lot of Lance. Dang, he doesn't even know the offense. That would be kind of crazy. I don't know if he'll play. DW, Jesse, Kyle, gonna use that 4th round on a running back. 209er says, remember when John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan were hired and they all talked about transparency? Pepperidge Farms remembers. No doubt. NG49 says start of Trey's villain arc. Anyone but the Cowboys. I hope that Kyle's right about Trey and Brock. If not, we're laughing stock for the next 10 years. No doubt about it. That's crazy. TMC says should have traded Kyle and Sam Young to the Sam Young to the Cowboys and let them destroy their team. Ugh. Sid Brown says, I just don't understand the timing. The team reboots because of the cap next season. Why confine yourself to a QB whose ceiling needs a lot of talent to win? I don't know, man. All right, we're going to go to eKim. We're going to knock through these super chats. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and I'll be back for the damn game. So come back and join me. All right, let's go to eKim here.
Hey, Jesse, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Well, this is the reason partially why I take breaks during the off season. So,
yeah, I feel it.
Well, I was at the gym today, so I got a nice lift in, so that's always a good thing. So
there we go.
Already feeling it. So this regime isn't part of 3 bad trades, as other callers have brought up. You know, how can we know that they would draft a player with a known degenerative knee? Not saying, you know, that every other team raised a red flag about at the Senior Bowl, and we couldn't see that. And I have nothing against Trey being drafted at 3. It wasn't his fault that he got drafted at 3.
No, for sure.
My thing is you could state a number where they were at the time and get someone like Rashawn Slater. But hey, that's water under the bridge now. Because I think he was still available at that time. So
yeah, he was picked by the Chargers. We'll see him tonight, actually.
Imagine that one. So here's my thing. To me, I've been tired of Kyle Shanahan's act since at least 2021. To me, I haven't seen him improve in any aspect as a coach. You continually get our quarterbacks injured, multiple quarterbacks, and you can't find one and stick to one for an extended period. Didn't he learn when his father was the offensive coordinator of the 49ers at the time that you need a really good quarterback to be able to contend? Maybe he didn't realize, maybe he forgot that and doesn't remember that his dad had a really good quarterback in Denver, even though he was on his last years, but he was still a very good quarterback. Maybe he doesn't remember that. I don't know. But I watched the Cone Zone, and when Lowell talked about when KNBR, the radio arm of the 49ers, they're not going to ask Kyle any hard questions. They're going to just toss him 95-mile-per-hour fastballs down the middle of the plate, and Kyle's going to knock him out of the park or show how big a genius he is. You really think that we're going to get a solid answer? I already had a feeling this was coming down when they said Trey wasn't at practice yesterday. I already had that feeling. What am I to do? I mean, you tell us that you didn't scout Mahomes. Okay, first mistake. At least you said you didn't. But then you don't go and say, hey, we really like Josh Allen. We're going to try to get him in that next draft in 18. Maybe they would have gone. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. But, we didn't get him at the time. So you're telling me you skipped over 2 really good quarterbacks and maybe a third one in Watson, where you said you didn't scout him either at the time before all of the issues he had down in Houston or Clemson or wherever. Maybe perhaps he had those issues in Clemson and they were never exposed. So I'm just trying to figure out, this organization keeps telling us, we're trying to build a brick, one piece at a time, but you still haven't solved the eternal puzzle of we haven't had a true elite starting quarterback since Steve Young. Appreciate Jeff Garcia. I thought he was a very serviceable quarterback, but he wasn't going to – I didn't see him in that same vein of Steve Young or Joe Montana.
Yeah, Grant and I had the debate a couple weeks ago. I said I don't think he was a franchise quarterback, and he's like a huge Jeff Garcia guy. So he's like, "How dare you?"
I appreciate Jeff Garcia. I never had a problem.
No, Jeff Garcia was really good. He wasn't a franchise quarterback in my opinion.
I didn't think he was either. I think he was the right player at the right time, but I don't think he would have taken us back to the promised land. But this regime keeps telling us they're going to take us back to a Super Bowl victory, and you've already been here 7 seasons, and seems like we're just content with just making it to the NFC Championship game and not going any further. Okay, Brock got injured in the championship game against Philadelphia, but it it just seemed like Brock, he didn't care about Brock going back, losing Brock, just slip in the next starting quarterback. That's what he's always shown. Does a lion, does a male lion lose its mane? Does a tiger lose its stripes? We already know what Kyle is. He's a terrible quarterback talent evaluator, and he won't develop one. He's shown and more or less told us that since he became coach in 2017. I mean, what could we have gotten with those picks that we traded away? Not saying we knew where those picks or players were going to be, but so we got what, a 4th round pick, and the Cowboys get to keep a elite pass rushing defensive player and get our quarterback who could develop into something good. I don't know. I'm not going to say he's a bust after only playing 3 games, but I always kind of felt that Kyle was always like, we said, oh, we were drawing plays when we were thinking about drafting Trey. I'm like, no, you weren't. He's like, I got a Porsche, Ferrari, and Bentley, I'm selling right in my backyard, What? Are you insulting my intelligence? You really know what this kid's going to do after playing one season of FCS football? I'm just saying. So I'll let you go on one last point, Jesse. What do you think of Oregon in the Big Ten?
Ooh, man, I didn't expect that question. I mean, it had to be done. The Pac-12 was falling apart. They had to go somewhere. I like it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. College football is definitely interesting with the way that you can pay players and that type of stuff now. So I think having these power conferences and going that route makes a lot of sense. And, I'm just curious to see how it plays out. But, yeah, man, I think Oregon going to the Big Ten is kind of cool. So I like it.
It's interesting, but are you going to ever get excited for the game where they travel 6 hours to Rutgers?
Yeah, I know. No, I know. Some of it's a little wonky for sure, but some of it's cool. I mean, now you got what? Ohio State and Penn State and Michigan and that's so that we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So just want to talk to you one last time. I'll try to be on a little bit more often instead of being on these.
Season starting, Kim. I need you, man. I need you to start these shows off.
I'll do my best. Hey, I'm on the road for work next week. What am I going to do then? I got to be on the road until the job gets done.
I gotcha. All right. I feel it. It was good talking to you, man.
You have a nice weekend.
You too. All right. There goes E. Kim. Normally starts the shows. Now he's finishing them. Sid Brown says, I just don't understand the timing. Yeah, we got that one. Okay. GTC Real says, in fairness, it's not Sam Darnold's fault. No. I agree. I'll be behind him when he hits the field. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But I'll be there to call Kyle out once we know what happens. But no, it's definitely not. That's why I would have felt bad if they cheer for Trey if he would have played tonight. But don't boo Sam because it's not Sam's fault, man. He's trying to get his career on track. I don't think he's a very good quarterback, but not a bad person. Ronald Keys says, I doubt that. You put a winning product out, fans. Yeah, but the winning product is different. See, here's where we're at right now. And somebody made this point on Spaces today, and I thought it was a great point. They said, there's a difference in what you look at as successful. If you're a 6-10 team or a 2-14 team or whatever, and you bring in a regime, they go 8-8, 9-8, and then the next year they're in an NFC championship. It's like, well, that's a really good season. Okay. But after you've done it 3 or 4 times, all of a sudden that goes from being a successful season to a failure because you're looked at as the best team. And when your coach is saying it, your players are saying it, like George Kittle back then when he says, I'll be back here, and he's sitting in the Super Bowl. If he doesn't make it back, isn't that a disappointment? Like, he expects to be back there. He expected it. It's been 4 years now. Like, he's probably pretty disappointed if they don't make it. Like, that was cool being in the Super Bowl then, but now it's winning the Super Bowl. Seen the NFC Championship 3 times. Like, it's not enough anymore. You got to get the next thing. So, yes, of course they'll be quiet if they win, but I think winning doesn't mean the same thing as it meant 3-4 years ago. Winning now means a Super Bowl. Bam Bam. I've really begun to feel like Sam Darnold is really who the head coach wants to be the QB. Oh, God, please no. Live during the game, that's the plan. I also didn't expect this to happen. Ronald says Mr. Irrelevant comes back from the dead to win epic. Hey, if that's the script to the season, I'm all for it. Smack Jones says Kyle and John just showed us 3 things. They are liars, they are cowards, and they are egomaniacs. They are projecting Brock to be Drew Brees. Unfortunately, it looks like Jake Delhomme. Nothing but love for Trey. #sick. Damn. Dustin the Gal says, got my Sundays back. F this team. No accountability. Obsessed with mediocre quarterback play. And decades without a franchise quarterback. Oof. Brady Hill says Niners busted. Trey didn't. Pause. Elite Archer says people with money do not think with emotion. Fans do. That's the separation. Hope you got what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know about that necessarily. I don't really associate money with like emotional intelligence or kind of how you operate. You know what I mean? I mean, I think there's definitely emotion there. Don't we see like Kyle Shanahan freaking out every Sunday, yelling at his quarterback on the sideline? Like there's emotion there. I don't know. I get what you're saying to a certain extent. Like emotion doesn't have to play as much, but I think a lot of that is just either who you are or who you're not. You know what I mean? Justin the Gal says, from the head coach to the front office to the owners, I no longer have any faith and don't want to waste my time anymore. Damn, bro. JC says Sam Darnold will Sam. David Kane says report just came out. Ravens wanted them too. There was a lot of teams that actually wanted them, from what I understand. What I was hearing. And it wasn't the teams that were reported, so that's very interesting. Super Saiyan Gaming says better dig in the back like Carrot Top. Jeez. Brother Bob says, why do we make trades with the Cowboys after Haley? I feel it, bro. I feel it. Jalid says Flav is finally irrelevant. Let's go. Let's go. Is this? Oh, I thought it said Greedy Williams. I'm like, is this the Greedy Williams? Tried to call in, but anyways, I've been a Niner fan for 33 years. I've always been behind this team through the good and the bad, but this is so messed up on so many levels. I will not support a team that straight up lies to us continuously. The balls, I'm done until Kyle is gone. Damn, bro. It's really how you feel. Telling you, man, I haven't seen this kind of visceral hate towards this organization in a while. I think it's really, truly Super Bowl or bust right now. Black Orchid says, Bay Rays, FTTB, love my Niners hat with the Trey Dallas development jersey. Ignorant move to trade him to Dallas. Hey, I feel it, Black Orchid. We'll see. We'll see. Jose Ruiz says, pissed. Should have kept him for a 4th. No less than a 2nd. We need all the help we can get. Shanahan and Lynch should be fired if no Super Bowl win. You know, I want to go back to something that Larry's been saying for a while. He didn't feel comfortable trading Trey Lance unless it was for a player that could help the 49ers this year. So what if they flip that 4th rounder for, let's say, a Chase Young or something? Does that make it feel better? I don't know. Just a thought. Willard says, we used to be all about excellence. This BS. JC says, I will not give any liars my money. Still a fan, but Jed gets no money until change happens. Oof. Derek Powers says, yeah, a QB he can learn from, unlike what he had. Yeah, I mean, I think this is best case for Trey. You know what I mean? No more Trey videos for Coneheads. Okay. Willard Culver says, I don't care who the next head coach is. They'll all be trash under Jed York. So you're taking it a step further. You're going after the ownership. Fair. Kevin Pruitt says, I think Trey told them, I'm not playing in this third preseason game and forced their hand. I hope he kicks Kyle's ass for the rest of his tenure. Ooh. Justin Cole says, Jeff Christensen in Dallas. Great for Trey. It's very true. He is in Dallas. It's a good point. VAC29 says, now that Trey is gone, we will have who will be the scapegoat of the 49ers struggle? Kyle Shanahan. The Met says, this is the worst. I wanted to watch him play. Damn. Tried calling in, but couldn't find the link. I'm sorry, Kaliki. I took it down after a while. I apologize. But there was a lot of people waiting. Kaliki comes back and says, what's disappointing is that Trey stood for a difference-making QB, a possible game changer. That's why we jettisoned Jimmy G. No faith in drafting quarterbacks. Steph Purdy, with the same last name as our starting quarterback, says, here's $9.99. Cryptic says, what are you looking to see in the final preseason game? I think this is great. Well, unfortunately, I wanted to see Moody. We're not going to see Moody. He's out with a quad injury. But I want to see the offense look crisp. We're going to see the starting offense. That's going to be good. I want to see the offensive line protect the hell out of the quarterback, especially now that we're down to one and a half that I trust. Trust Brock Purdy. I don't trust Sam Darnold-ish, but we'll see. So make sure that you protect the quarterback. But ultimately, I think there's a lot of position battles going on right now. I think linebacker's a highly contested position. I want to see what happens there. I want to see what they do with the nickel position tonight, who they start at nickel, who they start outside, kind of see what that rotation looks like. And then this defensive line, do we see any sort of life, any depth? Can they stop the run for the first time all preseason? So those are some of the things that I'm looking forward to, man. Sean says, is Kyle still a straight shooter? Runa says, done with this team, #sick. Runa, what's up, man? Hey, I'm really sorry I couldn't get to your call a couple weeks ago. You kept bouncing in and out. I kind of lost track of where you were at, so apologize about that, man. I really value your time, and I appreciate you for always supporting. KOS says, fire Kyle and get Harbaugh. God, wouldn't that be something? Goodness sakes. All right, y'all, listen. Appreciate you for tapping in. I should be back in about 40 minutes or so for the game itself. We'll watch it together. We'll see how it goes. Can't wait for Behind Enemy Lines with the Cowboys. Me neither, Junior. Me neither. I'm excited for it. See you guys in about 40. Peace.